This is Brent from the Brookbush Institute, and in this video we're going over the lateral lunge with front rack resistance. It's amazing how when you take this exercise and go from holding dumbbells by your sides to this position, that all of a sudden the difficulty level goes from a 5 out of 10 to like an 11. I'm going to have my friend Melissa come out. She's going to help me demonstrate this exercise. Now, just a quick review of what our alignment or form cues are for a lateral lunge. Let's go ahead and start sideways. When Melissa steps into a lateral lunge, we want to make sure we preserve our torso tibia alignment. And actually, Melissa has a little bit of a forward lean here, right? But ideally, her torso and tibia would be parallel. And what we're trying to do is preserve the contribution from her hip, knee, and ankle so that each of the muscles that cross those joints can contribute an appropriate amount of force. Go ahead and come back up. Obviously, if somebody had an excessive forward lean, like much more excessive than yours, and got no ankle dorsiflexion, they're not going to get anything out of their ankle complex. So we do want to watch and keep those tibia torso angles nice and aligned. On the same token, if somebody was really, really upright, they couldn't get anything out of their hip. You look pretty good. All right, go ahead and turn sideways. Now, if she steps towards me, the other alignment I'm going to look for, and she went a little wide, let's start over, is she's going to pick a distance to step out where when she lands, her hip, knee, and ankle end up in a straight line. So actually, when I'm looking from here and I'm looking from here, this half of her body looks like she's doing a squat. And as long as you guys know your squat mechanics, you're good to go. All right, you ready to get into front rack? All right, so I'm going to let her pick her poison here. Notice she goes for the lightest dumbbells, kettlebells rather. It's not her first take. I should probably let you guys know that it's not her first take. So she's not totally being a wimp. She's just making sure she has enough energy to get through this. Notice when she gets in a front rack position, her elbows are nice and high so that her arms are taking on the weight and she's not doing some weird bicep curl. And then notice that her scapula are protracted and depressed so that she's nice and stable there. We don't have any of this trying to use our scapular elevators to stabilize this weight. I do love this position for our field athletes. You think about like basketball or football and how you end up taking hits on the court. This is a great position to start building some strength and endurance. Note that of the tools we have out, dumbbells, BVRT bag, and kettlebells, we don't have an Olympic bar. We actually try to stay away from front rack position with an Olympic bar because it does require hypermobility of either your MCPs, your wrist, or your elbows. Now my strength sport athletes, if you guys need to do front rack position, that's cool for your sport, that's practice for your sport. For a general fitness or field sport athlete, we're going to stick with these tools. Now, are you ready to demonstrate how much harder a lateral lunge is in this front rack position? All right, go ahead and step towards me. Tough? All right, try one with your arms down. Tough?
Nope.
No problem, right? You can see she just springs back up, but come back up here. And go again. Good. Tough. Go ahead and turn sideways. In fact, you've shown them the kettlebell. Let's go ahead and grab the DVRT bag. I think you guys will visualize why this is so much harder with this bag. All right, so the first thing you guys will notice is when she has this bag, how much weight is in front of her center of mass. So as soon as she steps sideways, all of that mass tries to pull her forward. Go ahead and step back up. And this exercise becomes a ton more difficult. So you definitely have to be careful with the amount of resistance that you use. Great stuff. Now, if I want to take this challenge up a notch, I could have her go to balance at the end of this. So she's now going to push hard enough so that she doesn't have to put this foot back down. I'm going to cue her into triple flexion here. All right, so I want her dorsiflexed and inverted a little bit at the top. And this leg is only allowed to touch now at the bottom. She ends up building up a lot more momentum on the way down and has to push off a lot harder to get into this stable position. Go ahead and turn sideways. You can do the other leg too. All right. We also get a little bit more recruitment from this glute medius and this glute max to stabilize her pelvis when she gets to the top. Guys, to try to get through a set of 12 and 12 on each side is really rough. You put this in your strength endurance phase of your training, I think you guys are going to find it very challenging, and I think you're going to find that anything that comes after in your programming for legs is just not going to seem that bad. You'll have built up a fair amount of endurance, a fair amount of conditioning, so that everything that comes after is just a piece of cake. You can go ahead and stop. I hope you guys enjoyed this exercise. We got Melissa to sweat inside of all of about 2 minutes. Grab your kettlebells, grab a dumbbell, grab one of the sandbags. They all work out really well, but give this exercise a try. I look forward to hearing your comments. If any of you guys can get 20 and 20, which would be at the top of our strength endurance rep range, right? Strength endurance is 12 to 20 reps. If anybody can do 20 and 20 on each leg with rack position resistance, I want to see it on video. Send it to me, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. Let's make a little challenge of this. I think that would probably end up being about 3 minutes straight, 2 or 3 minutes straight of doing lateral lunges in rack position. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Talk to you soon.